Here, talk a little sports. Quest for a championship begins tonight for the New York Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx in the WNBA. Lynx looking to win their 5th WNBA championship, which would make them the franchise with the most rings in the league. The last championship just 7 years ago, so they're looking to get one back. The Liberty, on the other hand, have not been as successful. They are 0-5 in championship appearances, including last year when they lost to the Vegas Aces. To talk more about this matchup, CBS Sports writer and analyst Erica Ayala. Erica, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
You got it. Good to have you with us here. So the Liberty and the Lynx, two of the best teams in the WNBA, number 1 and 2 ranked respectively throughout the year. But when they match up this season, the Lynx, they took 3 of 4, including the Commissioner's Cup. So if there was one team in the league that you would think has the Liberty's number, it would be the Lynx, correct or no?
Absolutely correct. In fact, when the New York Liberty beat the Las Vegas Aces, the team who they lost to in the WNBA Finals last year, Sabrina Ionescu, the guard for the New York Liberty, said that the Aces tried to deploy the defense that Minnesota has used successfully against them. But what I loved is in Game 4, we saw that the New York Liberty were they were able to defeat the Aces and advance to the finals. So for New York Liberty fans, that should be a good sign that this is a stronger, better New York Liberty team going into the finals.
Well, it's funny you bring up that you beat Vegas, who've kind of stood in your way the last couple of years, but it's not like it gets any easier now. As we just mentioned, Minnesota does, kind of have their number. We'll see what happens on court, of course. On paper, though, the Liberty seem to have more star power with players like Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, who you just mentioned, who all rank as some of the best in the league. So what do they need to do to, win this best-of-5 series somewhat convincingly?
Well, the New York Liberty are going to need to rely on their offense. In the 4 games that the Liberty played against the Lynx, the one time that they were able to be successful, they had to score 100+ points. So for me, that's actually a good sign for the New York Liberty. They're at their best when the ball is moving. They like pace. They like to have a lot of high assists in their outings. So the New York Liberty are going to look to, as you mentioned, Stewart, Ionescu, and I do think the advantage lies in the New York Liberty with their reserve players coming off of the bench, including a WNBA champion and veteran Courtney Vandersloot.
So now let's talk about the Lynx a little bit, because we got to be even-handed here, even though we are Liberty fans. Napheesa Collier, undisputed leader of this squad, a star in the league, top 5 in scoring, rebounds, steals, finished 2nd in the MVP voting this year. Can she carry this team?
We've seen that she certainly can in the regular season, and Napheesa Collier she's cut from that UConn cloth just like Breanna Stewart. So being cool, calm, collected, and also being kind of a Swiss Army knife on the court is exactly what she's been able to be and to do for the Minnesota Lynx. What I will say is that this is a Minnesota Lynx squad that they've played a few seasons together now, but they haven't been in a playoff scenario. So that's going to be a little bit of a learning curve that could be an advantage New York Liberty. But Napheesa Collier, players like Kayla McBride and Courtney Williams, those are players that I'm looking to on the Minnesota Lynx to, as you said, carry the team. You've
got great UConn representation on both teams here. Put yourself in the mind of Gino Auriemma for a moment. Who do you root for?
Oh, Gino. He's going to probably root for whoever makes him look good. Now, I think you hear that any player that's gone to UConn, 40 years we're going on with Coach Gino Auriemma and Coach Daly. But I think Gino Auriemma, he knows these are pros. Yep. And I don't know that he has a rooting vested interest. Now, Connecticut obviously a little closer to New York than Minnesota. So here's hoping that gives the Liberty a little bit of an edge in his eyes.
I used to travel with and cover the UConn women back in a very historic year, 1995, the undefeated year with Rebecca Lobo. A lot of good memories with the team and with Gino. Last question for you before I let you go. Winner, pick it for me. Lynx, Liberty?
I'm going Liberty. I do think it'll go 5. This is a New York Liberty team that they embrace the pain, the heartache collectively and individually that they had last year, losing in the finals. And you keep hearing them say, we haven't done anything yet. Both teams, I have to say, have gotten better over time. And I'm giving New York Liberty the edge, if not only because they will have home court advantage. Barclays Center is going to be rocking, and that will help this team get over the hump.
They got to get a W in this one. Erica, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Enjoy the games, and thanks for taking a few moments to join us here. The New York Liberty begin their series against the Lynx tonight, 8 p.m. at the Barclays Center. Game 2 on Sunday, 3 p.m., also in Brooklyn. Go Liberty.